Okay, everyone, thanks for coming out tonight. My name is John Johnson. I just want to go over the prospect call presentation for Nui. I know I recognize some of the names, so I know there's some members in here and maybe some prospects as well. So I want to talk a lot about Nui Social, Symmetry, and Mintage Mining tonight. So before I get into everything, this is one of my favorite slides here. I've always believed that a company is only as strong as the people behind it, the leaders in the company, the members, everyone like that. And this company has a lot of solid people behind it. So starting from Reed Tanaka all the way down to Curtis O'Lyon there at the end. And you guys can kind of I record all of these presentations and post them in PDF form, things of that sort. So you kind of go back and read the background of each individual person behind this group. This is a very, very strong company, and they're starting to make a lot of noise out there, getting a lot of attention, both good and bad, I guess. And but they just keep going and going and going. And this is a company that I fully believe will be here for a very long time for a lot of different reasons. I spent a lot of time in their building. I've met their staff. I've met their support guys, their managers, a couple of the attorneys. I've met all of the owners, the founders. Just very comfortable with this group. Absolutely love everything about them and what they're doing. And what's amazing about it is their vision and what they do to be and stay compliant. They work really, really hard at it. So when obstacles get in their way, they're able to just take them on head on. They just tack it head on and just keep clocking, keep going. Corporate offices are located literally about 15 to 20 minutes from my house over in Lehi, Utah, a place called Silicon Slopes. You've got Silicon Valley in San Francisco, but Silicon Slopes is in Lehi, Utah. And I'm telling you right now, Utah, Salt Lake's one of the fastest growing cities in the country right now. It is booming, and there's a major tech boom. And these guys want to become the largest blockchain company out there in the world. That's their goal. Not just a network marketing group, but a monster in the blockchain community. And they work at it very, very hard every single day. They've gone top shelf and hired the #1 rated law firm in the United States, according to Accretus, Jones Day. I've got a couple links down below where it says Jones Day on blockchain. It's actually 2 videos made by Jones Day that you can see on YouTube. I would invite anybody to check those 2 out. It's kind of, gives a little bit of an insight to who Jones Day is, things of that sort. But 50 plus employees, just very large. They operate in that entire top floor of the 5th floor in that building. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there a couple days this week. Very excited about it. And so anyway, just a great company all around. What do? We mine on the blockchain. So what is blockchain technology exactly? Well, blockchain, I'm going to read a little bit of this. I usually don't like to do a lot of reading in these presentations, but I think it's very important to make sure everybody really understands what blockchain is. So I've got a little drawing here on the left, a little illustration. But a blockchain is a digitized, decentralized public ledger of all cryptocurrency transactions, constantly growing as completed blocks. The most recent transactions are recorded and added to it in chronological order. It allows market participants to keep track of digital currency transactions without central record keeping. Each node or computer connected to the network gets a copy of the blockchain, which is downloaded automatically. Absolutely love this technology. Originally developed as the accounting method for the virtual currency Bitcoin, blockchains which use what's known as distributed ledger technology are appearing in a variety of commercial applications today. There's a great video right here on the bottom, another link that I posted, probably my favorite description of what blockchain technology is. It talks a lot about land use. It talks about a lot of different things other than just sending transactions. What's great about the blockchain is a validation process that has to take place. Everything is authenticated by third parties. There's no central authority in blockchain, and it makes it great because everything has to be confirmed by several different things before they enter and before they leave these blocks. And so it cuts down on fraud. It speeds up, speeds up the process, and people can see it. It's a transparent system where, if, for example, I'm a company and I'm purchasing items, I can see when they shipped, what was shipped, things of that sort, and it's really hard to hide anything on the blockchain. So it's very valuable for a lot of, from one person to the other, or even large organizations from one organization to the other. Great technology. So mining, what do? We mine on the blockchain. That's one of the things that we do. Mining is a transaction that takes place on the blockchain, and they need to be confirmed and verified. So it's a lot like when you use a credit card. Is probably the best example I can think of, just because most people understand, merchant services. They understand every time you swipe your credit card, you don't pay a fee, but the merchant pays a fee. And so on the blockchain, it's different. When you send money, you send a transaction, you pay that small fee. You pay for it to be authenticated, which is crypto mining. So to give you even a better illustration of this, I did actual screenshots on a something called Coinbase. It's one of the major wallets that are used here in the United States and other places, I guess. Coinbase is one of the popular ones, and you can see right here, miner fee. That's not Coinbase charging the fee. Now, Coinbase and different wallets, they may charge fees and for transactions, things of that sort. But this is me sending a transaction of $220 out to somebody, okay? And there's a miner fee, 0.30. That's the miner fee. So whoever was rewarded that transaction through their algorithm and everything, they received that fee of 30 cents. Pretty cool how that works. And then notice a couple things on this transaction. It says confirmation. This simply means that there must be a confirmation, or actually on the blockchain, a string of confirmations prior to this transaction being completed. It says confirmation 0. Usually that number has to be about 6 before it's received by the other party. So that's what's so cool about it. It says fee. This means that the computer or mining machines that pick this transaction up again will be rewarded this fee. Really, really awesome. So what are miner fees, and how does Coinbase pay them, which is kind of cool here. So again, this is the actual definition off of Coinbase itself. To ensure that transactions are processed on digital currency networks, outgoing transactions to external digital currency addresses typically incur a mining or network fee. This fee is paid to the digital currency miners, which are the systems that process the transactions and secure the respective network. Please note, all fees are paid to miners. Coinbase does not profit from any sends or receives. So that's really awesome. It's nice to be able to mine on the blockchain, be a part of a mining company where we're actually able to be paid mining fees each and every week, every Wednesday to be exact, which is really awesome. Let's see here. How popular is the blockchain? Well, I can tell you there's a lot of huge companies looking for blockchain technology, either to have in-house or to farm out to third parties. But there's a lot of companies wanting blockchain. In fact, I read an article the other day. It was pretty cool. I was just kind of scouring the internet, and it's saying that a lot of tech companies are losing quality workers and programmers to blockchain companies right now. So there's something happening out there. There's something really brewing. Blockchain is very serious, and I believe it's here to stay. Apparently, so does Wall Street. Wall Street adopting Bitcoin will lead the crypto market to surge, according to Brian Kelly. Again, here's another article you can read. Anytime I quote another person or have an article or anything, I will always obviously put the link down there so people can verify that what I'm saying is true and accurate. I don't want to, say anything off the cuff. I want to always make sure that, I can document anything that I claim. The Federal Reserve is now opening a cryptocurrency index. That is huge. That is a big deal. And once again, here's a link to an article that talks more about that. Blockchain is not going anywhere, guys, at least not according to a lot of corporations and now Fred and other places. it looks like it's here to stay. A lot of people called it a fad. A lot of people said, oh, it'll be here today, gone tomorrow. Well, it just keeps growing in popularity and getting bigger and bigger. So we're going to talk a lot about a company called Nui tonight, who also is the official sponsor of the Utah Warriors rugby team. Nui, what I love about these guys, they're front and center. They don't hide. They don't, they don't run in fear if one thing happens, or this guy says this or this guy says that. They don't get discouraged. They just keep pushing forward. They keep moving forward because they know what they're doing is correct. They know they're doing things the right way. I know they're doing things the right way, which is why I do this. I've been burned before. A lot of us have been burned before, and we can all say that, and it sucks. It stinks every time it happens. Nobody wants people to be burned. You know, I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. When I vetted Nui, I had just been burned, and I got hit hard, really, really hard. And I was literally about to leave online marketing, everything, all just all together. And when the gentleman came to my home and signed me up and told me about Nui, I went in very slowly. I just went in with a little bit, and I really vetted them like crazy. Fortunately, I live so close to corporate, I was able to visit so many times, and I kept seeing all these people come in and seeing what's going on behind the scenes, and I kept seeing all this stuff, and I'm thinking, gosh, so-and-so wouldn't associate himself with a bad company, neither with this guy or this guy or this group or this group. And I kept seeing all this stuff happen, and I kept thinking to myself, oh my goodness. I said, these guys are pretty incredible. And then I saw them, they're Nui's right there on Zions Bank Stadium, right front and center, right on the football or whatever you call it for the rugby ball. I don't know about rugby. My ignorance of rugby. Darren will kill me if he knew how little I knew about rugby. I know a lot about football, not rugby so much, but they're out there in the community. They're doing their thing. These guys are not a fly-by-night. They're not just the other guy. So that means when they get punched in the face, they punch right back, just as hard, if not harder. That's what I absolutely love about this company. And you know what? It is a very nice change. Nui Social over here, product that pays you directly. You're mining. We're mining. We are renting terahash on actual mining rigs that are working for us all the time, all day, every day. We get paid every single Wednesday. I've been with this company for a little over 7 months now. I've been paid every single week after week after week, paid. Boom, boom, boom. The percentages change. They go up, they go down, they stay somewhere in between. They're all over the place. Why? Because we're actually being paid on mining. We're not just being paid by the next person signing up. If I got paid the exact same amount every week, percentage-wise, I would be Larry. The red flags would go off in my head. They would go off because that's not typical in mining. Nobody pays out exactly the same every week if they're just doing it off mining, because there's volatility in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of volatility, okay? And mining's no different. Some weeks are going to be better than others, and that's the way it works. But this is not your typical MLM, meaning you don't have to go recruit the world to be paid in this. You can do this 100% passively if you choose to. Now, if you do refer others, there's great compensation on the back end. I think it's a wonderful plan. But the point is that you don't have to. Everyone wins with what they're kind of creating. And when I say that, the results will vary from one member to the other member. Of course, it depends, how much time they put into it, how much effort they put into it, how much money that they put into mining. It differs across the board, obviously. But what's so great about this is these guys are not just a mining company; they're a full-fledged blockchain company. They're building this thing, and they're truly wanting to decentralize. The key behind blockchain technology is decentralization. Get rid of the middleman, keep it so it's not centralized, and spread it out. Spread it out. Make it more secure, make it safer, make it better, make it transparent. All those things come into play. So this is a plan, guys. This is what we do. We are the network. We mine with Mintage. Mintage pays us weekly. we stay engaged since we all make money every single week, then we're encouraged to go share it with others because we're being paid every week. Then Kala, which is their token, which I'll talk about a little bit tonight, what Kala is and why Kala is important. I believe it'll be grossly successful. I'm not going to try to guess how much it'll be worth, and Kala is going to be subject to going up and down just like anything else as well, of course. But Kala is exposed to members worldwide. Opportunity to mine Kala in our homes with the Kala rigs you see here on the left. Core activities, which I'll talk about a little bit in the next slide. Nui creates their own blockchain. Companies use Nui's blockchain for their transactions. Then Kala token can increase in value as the popularity of Kala arises. Corporate therefore increases in value. Members are all rewarded. That's a perfect win-win scenario. Okay, there's no guarantees in this world. We all know that, but I can tell you right now, I feel like I've locked arms with a very, very solid company, something that I could be proud of. I am very proud to promote Nui and Symmetry and Mintage Mining. And who is Symmetry? I've said Symmetry a couple times. Symmetry is a business-to-business play in this thing. They're the business-to-business company. There's 3 separate companies. Symmetry is a company that has Kala. They have Core. They have Reach. They have Vault. What is Core? Core is compensation on real efforts. One thing I love about this company, they knew, hey, if we're going to create a token, we want to be a utility token. We don't want to be any other kind of token. We want to be a utility token. Well, in order to become a utility token, you have to create intrinsic value. You have to have other transactions happening inside a corporate or in your membership or in your company that also helps to determine value. It can't just be everything on the open market to determine value if you want to be a true utility coin or token or whatever. But compensation on real efforts gives members the ability through third-party vendors under contract with Symmetry to literally mine Kala by completing tasks, doing activities, and purchasing through certain online vendors. Members are then able to keep their points, which will convert to Kala. Once we're able to convert it to Kala, as it's going to be on the exchanges, or purchase items right now in Reach. Reach serves as an online redemption center for Kala. Symmetry has agreements with different vendors, including Walmart and others, who accept Kala as a form of payment for selected products. Okay, Vault is another way to create intrinsic value. Vault is their internal cold wallet solution, 100% insured. Why? Because it's a cold wallet solution. What does that mean? Well, you've got places like wallets like Coinbase, you've got exchanges such as Binance and Bittrex and Poloniex and so many others, and those are online. Those could be hacked. I'm not saying they will, but they're more subject unless there's a cold wallet solution. If you have a cold wallet solution, it means somebody would actually have to have your physical computer because it's offline. And so that's why they're able to make this money 100% insured. Why is that good for Kala? Well, because in Vault, in order to change your money from crypto to USD to fiat or whatever you're converting it to, it has to become Kala first. So if you're storing your Bitcoin in there or your Ether or whatever it may be, you need to convert it to Kala first, which creates that transaction, and then sell it to USD or fiat or whatever, and that will create those transactions that also help with the valuation process. So a lot of different things going on here. Symmetry is a very important piece of everything Nui does. Symmetry, as I mentioned before, serves as a business-to-business arm of the organization. Okay, so the blockchain solution, along with Core, Reach, and Kala, all fall underneath the umbrella of Symmetry. So let's talk about the ability to mine Kala, and not just Kala, but ICOs on our blockchain on one of 10,000 mining rigs. Right now, we're in phase 2 of the mining rigs. Those will be plugged in at some point next month. We'll have 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, a little over a month to be able to mine in phase 1 for those of us who purchased rigs for phase 1. Phase 2 will roll out, and then there's going to be, I believe, 6 phases, right around 10,000 mining rigs. And what's so cool about this is they've got an allotted amount. Right now, they're mining about 187 million Kala per month, and they're mining it on 50 different machines in several different countries, which means they have these nodes, they have this network being built all over the world already right now. And these only mine Kala. But I mentioned here ability to mine Kala and ICO, so which is an initial coin offering that we will have to vet those companies behind it. Nui wants to make sure they're real companies and not just an ICO that's going to be a scam or somebody just trying to raise money for anything. They've got to vet these companies. They've got to go through the process, basically that Nui had to go through, and to be able to use our blockchain, to use Nui's or Symmetry's blockchain, I should say. And our rigs will be able to mine not just Kala, but also on those ICOs on the blockchain as well. So if you have a rig in phase 1 and 2, which will start with just Kala, you will be able to have your rigs reconfigured, and they will also be able to mine those ICOs as well. So it's awesome. So 1 and 2 are not just only going to be Kala rigs. You will have that option to have them reconfigured as well. Then, of course, phase 3 through 6 or whatever, you can mine both, which is really cool. A golden opportunity, what we have here, let's talk a little bit about Mintage mining. Now, we talked about the fact that we mine. Mintage is so cool because I've looked at a lot of different mining programs, and some of them are quite expensive for the average person to get in. Mintage, you can start for free as well, no annual fee, and 25 units that you can purchase, which is $25. $1 equals 1 unit. And then you can see if it works, see if you're receiving payouts every Wednesday. And again, it's going to fluctuate what that percentage may be due to the results of the mining. And so what happens is you come in and you receive your payouts, you see what happens. You can try it for free, but you cannot ever have more than 300 units. So you can either purchase 300 initially, purchase 25, let it build up to 300. But once you're at 300 units, you have to cash out every week what your payout is. You can't just repurchase units and create kind of a compounding effect. It's not interest. It's a compounding effect based off of repurchasing units every week, which essentially is the same thing, I guess, as far as the effect's the same, but it's not interest. And what's so cool about this is you have an option. You can leave when you're paid every Wednesday, you're paid in Bitcoin. So since we're mining crypto, we're paying out in crypto, pay out in Bitcoin. You can take that payout and you can go to the bank with it. You can do whatever, send it over to another wallet and then to your bank, or you can repurchase. If you're a free member, you can't exceed $300. Or you can join Mintage Mining directly. You can say, you know what, I just want to sign up for Mintage Mining. I do not want to be an affiliate of Nui. That's fine. $500 for the year and purchase as many units as you like, and there's no limit on what you can have in mining units, and you can just mine all the way to the bank or whatever you want to do. Or you can join Nui for $125 for the year, and then they waive that $500 fee. And with Nui, what's so cool about it, you have a lot of options as a Nui member. You've got the core, you've got the reach, you've got the discount on the Kala rigs. Everything. Nui members have a lot of benefits that if you just mine with Mintage, you don't have those benefits unless you're also a Nui member. So Nui members, let's talk about compounding your weekly payouts. You can literally use our mining machines to allow yourself to receive payouts based off of the machines being rewarded confirmations and collecting mining fees. So you can kind of ask your sponsor what their average weekly payouts have been. I don't like to guess anymore because they always change, so I'm constantly having to change my presentation. Oh, this is what the average is, this is what it is. Now I just say, go back to the person who brought you here and ask them what their average is. They can pull it up in their back office. There's different graphs and everything. It'll show them what their results have been. And then you can kind of throw it on a calculator. This is a calculator I prefer, ncalculators.com. I've got the link right here. And then just feel free to play with as many calculations as you would like. See mintagemining.com for more details as well. The cool thing about this too is right now, whatever percentages may be, I do know as this blockchain rolls out, as these ICOs are added, things of that sort, Mintage will also mine a lot of these ICOs, which will in turn assist us with the growth of the weekly payout percentages as well. So other things that are happening in corporate on top of what they're already doing, not just focusing on the existing altcoins. I mean, right now that's where it is, but it will change in the future as those ICOs come out. So options, everybody loves options, so why should we be any different? You can mine 100% passively, or you can take advantage of our other services like Core and Reach. You can do that, or you can do that and start referring others. And I'm going to go ahead and go through the compensation plan when we refer others. Yes, it is a matrix. No, it is not your grandfather's matrix. No, it's not a binary. No, you don't have to balance either side. You can have, it's pretty simple. Once you sign somebody up, you receive 10%, and there's two different ways you get paid on this. You get paid as a Nui member, and you get paid as a Mintage member. So let's talk about the Nui pay plan first. On the Nui pay plan, once you sponsor somebody, you unlock level 1. You see here it's a 3x10 matrix, so it's up to 88,572 people. Have I ever seen a complete matrix? No. Will I ever see a complete matrix? Probably not. As far as everyone filled in perfect order, no. I don't know if it's ever happened. Who knows? I doubt it. But you still can build a big enough team, or even mine passively, or even have 10 people, 20 people, 30, whatever it may be. And the point is, every time you refer somebody, you receive a 10% bonus paid in units. So if somebody joins, for example, I joined for $1,189. So the person who signed me up received 10% of that, 10% of those units. And so, and each week when I repurchase units to create that compounding effect over a 3-year term, that individual who signed me up receives 10% of those in bonus units every week as well. So that's really cool. And then every time I sign somebody up, or somebody below me falls underneath me, because the individual above me has unlocked all 10 levels, he's sponsored 10 people at least, that means he receives a 2% override paid in units every Friday, just like I received the bonus units every Friday, and all the way down 10 levels. But it's better because there's dynamic compression, which means this: if I have people underneath me and I go and I get my 10 people, and I don't have to get 10 to start getting paid, I just need one person to start getting paid. One person I get paid on any member on my first row. So I sponsor one person, can be paid an additional 2% off of 3 people. I sponsor 2 people, I can receive an additional 2% off of 9 people, and then level 3, 3 people all the way down the row. Okay, this is on the Nui side. So on the Mintage side, I've been talking about the 2% and the 10%. So just because I'm so used to doing that, so I apologize, because this is the Nui slide. On the Nui side, I also receive $5 each time somebody signs up. That's $5 no matter what, whether it's a personal sponsor or it's a spillover or whatever it may be, if it's in that top 10 rows, or if with the dynamic compression, what happens is not everybody below me will sign up 10 people. So if they do not, chances are I will be paid lower than 10 rows. I've got some payments coming all the way up from row 18, row 20, row 22, and all the way up. So I've got payments coming all over the place. $5 each time somebody signs up, and each time they renew their membership each year, it's $5 again. So that could be a residual $5 over, and it does add up. It's really awesome to see those coming on Fridays. You can even purchase units with those, or you can cash them out. You can keep them in a Bitcoin wallet, whatever you want to do. On the Mintage side, that's the 10%, 2%, but it's the same 3x10 matrix. So I kind of got a little ahead of myself on that last slide, but same thing. And here's an example. You sponsor Sally. She did a $100 agreement, and you receive $10. Sally brings in Ken, and he buys a $1,000 agreement. You receive $20 because you get 2% off of Ken, because you've unlocked that first row, and then Sally brought somebody in, whatever it may be. And so that's kind of how this works. And so again, I always tell people, try to get 10 in the pen, which is a personally enrolled network, and then help others to do the same. I think for me, it was pretty easy, and everybody's going to have different results depending on how good they're at approaching, how good they are at presenting, or whatever it may be. It's going to be all across the board. But I can tell you what makes it easier is when you can show people your back office and show that you've been paid every single Wednesday, regardless if you've referred anybody or not. That makes it a lot more simple, which probably makes sense. So here's kind of another thing I teach as well. Different strategies that I like to employ in Mintage with this. One thing that's cool is this is not a get rich quick overnight scheme or game or anything like that. Okay, this is a blockchain company that wants to create a worldwide network of individuals to decentralize. And in order to do so, they need to make sure that they consistently pay us and things of that sort. So I think it's always a great idea to exercise strategies within this and say, hey, for myself as a member, how do I really capitalize on this? So we talked a little bit about core. I can earn Kala through core once core points convert to Kala here shortly. Or you can purchase a rig and mine Kala, or you can purchase Kala when it reaches the exchanges or whatever. There's different ways to receive Kala. I personally am going to take about 20% of the Kala I earn monthly, and I'm going to purchase mining units with it, because those mining units are going to pay me 156 different times, and I don't know what Kala is going to do. It's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, all over the place. And so, and I'll still have 80% of it to play with, to do whatever I want with it. But I will always put 20% back in and teach my team to do the same, because then that guarantees me that I'm going to have all these mining units. I'll say he who has the most units wins, and so I'm definitely going to take advantage of my own 80-20 rule. Disclaimer I've got put in here, and I tell people you should always put a disclaimer on every presentation you do or anything you do. Results will vary from member to member based off of a number of factors. Again, somebody may start with 25 units, somebody may start with 10,000 units, 100,000 units, who knows? So obviously the percentages will be close to the same weekly, but the payout amounts will be different. If somebody's more aggressive than another person at bringing people in, then obviously that person will receive the 10% overrides and things of that sort. And so obviously it's going to be different. So I always tell people, never, never, ever, ever share somebody else's results. Okay, when you go in here, always show your own results. It's okay to post ads and things like that sort, and post ads based off what you have done, not off of what somebody else has done. Okay, base it off of what you have done, and that's what I always tell people to do, is make sure that they do it that way, because honestly, if somebody shows results of someone else that's been in it longer or has a bigger team and stuff, the other people don't even know that person, so they don't really care what that person's done. They care what you've done. And so I just always say, keep it real. Keep it real. Everything we claim, make sure that it's real, and you can show people that, hey, let's not go with. I think we have such a strong foundation. We have such a strong company, such a great offering, that we don't have to fabricate anything. We don't have to embellish at all. We can just say, hey, here it is. This is what we've got. This is very strong, and people can figure it out. And maybe they sign up that day, maybe they don't. It's up to them, completely up to them. I can tell you right now, I'm 100% satisfied with Nui. I absolutely love everything about this company. I love Darren. I love the individuals behind it. These guys have been amazing to me, and I hopefully to them. But with that, guys, that's pretty much it for tonight and the presentation. I did it in 35 minutes, which is a personal record. But I just want to, kind of give a shout out to a lot of people in Nui Nation. I love you guys to death. I'm very proud to be a part of this team. Even if I may be a small part, I absolutely love this team. I love everything about it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. I'm going to go ahead and post this on our Facebook page so you can have that. And then if you have any questions, let me take a couple questions real quick here in the chat. Okay, so thank you. Yep, you are welcome. So I will go ahead and do that. And please post your questions on the online chat that I'm going to start. I'll just do a little Q&A with a copy of this presentation. That way, myself or someone else in the group can get back to you and answer those questions. So everybody have a great night. Love you all, and we will talk to you next time.